I'm trying to tell y'all, it's the shift that's happening, and they don't want you to see this. I'm telling you.
When I think about Donald Trump, I think about this case in New York. I mean, I'm looking at the Democrats right now, and again, primarily, I have voted Democrat throughout my life, but I'm utterly disgusted with what I'm seeing because it seems to me that they're trying to use the law in the courts. They've clearly politicized this thing with Donald Trump because they can't come up with a strategy to offset the momentum he's clearly gained. In at least 5 polls, he's up. He's up in the polls over Biden, at least 5 polls that I counted. That's the reality of the situation. Despite the counts against them, the indictments against them, being impeached twice and all of this other stuff, he is the presumptive GOP nominee. And you don't seem to have the issues in your favor, you believe. So because of that, you're going to manipulate the system as best as you possibly can to avoid him possibly running for re-election again. That appears to be their strategy, but I'm here to tell you, it's not working.
I'm telling y'all, it's not looking too good. And it's happening not because Trump has to manipulate people to believe something, but because people are seeing how the left is manipulating and weaponizing the justice system, lawfare, and using that against Trump. And people see it right through the BS, man. They ain't going for it no more. Like I say, bro, it is 2024, bro. He got cameras. We got Twitter. At some point, you start to just go, all right, all we want is solutions. That's all we want. We want solutions to these problems that we see are rising every single day. We starting to see an increase in all of these issues multiply every single day. All we want is somebody to come here and just keep it real. That's it. All we want is somebody to come here and give us a solution to our problems. And right now, y'all ain't doing nothing but giving us problems. Answer this though in the comments though. Y'all still think they gonna vote Democrat? Y'all still think they gonna vote Democrat? And I've been seeing Stephen A. Smith really come out of his shell about his political viewpoints as of late more than ever since he's been running his own independent YouTube channel and things of that nature. But somebody wrote here, truth is the greatest sanitizer. Amen to that. Nah, you know, yeah, it do feel like some alcohol hitting the back of your neck after the blade, bro. I ain't gonna lie to that. However, since this Fox News interview came out, there were some headlines that Stephen A. Smith wanted to address. You'll be very surprised at his response to him, though.
Fox News story that caught my attention. The reason it caught my attention is because it involves me. The headline claimed that I said on this show that Democrats are, quote, cowards, end quote, for attempting to use lawfare against Donald Trump. I addressed the issue Monday when jury selection began in the Stormy Daniels hush money criminal trial in New York City. I don't recall using the word cowards. I don't recall being incendiary in that regard. I have called the Democrats an embarrassment. I have said there's no excuse for not being able to find someone other than a soon-to-be 82-year-old incumbent to compete against Trump. I have said it's pretty damn pathetic that a person that's been indicted, okay, with 4 charges, 91 counts, impeached twice, is somebody that you still can't touch, that you're engaging in lawfare because you can't beat them. I do recall saying that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very clear so everybody understands where I'm coming from.
Okay.
I meant that shit. I meant every word.
Oh, I bet.
Now, again, I don't have to call you a coward, but do I think you're scared? Yeah, you look scared. You look like you are depending on the courts to beat him because you can't. You can't. He's just storming ahead. Meanwhile, Biden's losing momentum.
Yeah.
And I don't believe you if you should stand idly by and say nothing if you're a Democrat or you're somebody who aspires for someone other than Trump to win. I think you should speak up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing. Now, I'm not.
Oh, man. Welcome to the coon side of life, my brother. Welcome to the Uncle Tom side of life, my brother. Not because you just support Trump, but because you're actually challenging the narrative and you're actually thinking for yourself and you're doing it unapologetically. Yeah, you ruffling some feathers.
Not blind. And in the interest of fairness, let's understand something here, okay? We've got situations involving Biden, too. because he ain't just losing momentum because of what's deemed to be a crisis at the borders. There's some legal issues in terms of lawfare that one could easily argue the Democrats are turning the opposite way when it comes to Biden. For example, classified documents from his time as a senator in his garage that were deemed illegal, at least in the eyes of some senators. Okay, you only view the documents in the SCIV. That's what they say. How about Joe Biden used his vice presidential powers to have the investigator for Burisma fired?
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that.
About that stuff.
They don't want to talk
said
about
that was illegal. I'm not sure that is, but we don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We certainly haven't talked about it here. He also had to share classified documents in which he can't claim presidential discretion.
Come on,
we
man.
ain't focusing on that.
Preach.
And don't get me started with Hunter Biden and accusations of selling access.
Mm-hmm.
People saying some of that stuff is proven by bank accounts, emails, etc. I didn't follow that story heavily. I don't know. But in the interest of fairness, I'll mention it. What I'm simply saying is it's about an election, and it's about trying to win. You're going to win or you're going to lose. Standing pat. Depending on husband, do you really think that this country is going to allow a presidential candidate to be denied the opportunity to run for office?
No.
Because a porn star was paid hush money during a campaign that took place 8 years ago? You really think that's going to work?
Right.
You really think they're going to let that happen?
I don't think so, dog.
When there was an insurrection on January 6th, when people were trying to damn near overthrow the government.
Mm-hmm.
You really think that they're going to let hush money to a porn star stop their candidate from running for office? Are you kidding me?
They don't care, man.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, man.
That's why I say it's much ado about nothing. Remember John Edwards? Remember Gary Hart? Remember Bill Clinton? Oh, the Republicans bring all of that stuff up.
Mm-hmm. Come on, yeah.
On a different side of note, Hillary Clinton, the Russian dossier. Oh, they'll say anything.
Emails got deleted magically. Nobody want to talk about it.
This is not going to stop that Trump train.
Come on, now.
You're going to have to beat them. You're going to have to beat them.
That was about right.
And I don't know how the hell they're going to pull it off. I really don't. But for the record, I didn't use the word cowards to describe Democrats. I try not to be disrespectful of elected officials. But I did say they look scared. And they're depending on lawfare to do their job for them because they can't come up with a strategy using their own elected folks on Capitol Hill to beat Donald Trump.
Facts.
And I meant it. It's a damn shame, but it's the state of affairs that exist. And there's no way around it.
I can't agree anymore. Obviously, this is what we've been saying for the longest. He brought up some very, very important points as well. Pointing out the hypocrisy and the fact that you have all of these frivolous charges coming against Trump. And even if you consider the charges against Biden and Hunter, Joe and Hunter, that is, if you consider those frivolous as well, why aren't we looking into those? Why don't people care? He even admitted that he didn't follow into those stories either, to really conclude anything or, for himself. So, yeah, that's a really great point there for sure. We really realize what it is they're not voting for Biden. They're voting against Trump. That's really what it boils down to. People hate this man blindly just because the media told them to. Trust me, I was one of them. And the thing that gets me is people still somehow think that Stephen A. Smith is being emotional. I found this comment right here. It just really, it makes you realize, honestly, critical thinking is just a virtue these days. Mr. Smith, you have the platform, unfortunately, and the right to speak your opinion about a variety of topics. Time permitting, I regularly follow your comments on sporting issues, primarily First Take. You usually defend your turf in that arena quite well based on knowledge and the gift for gab. However, I find your fence straddling in the political arena to be void of facts and riddled with biased emotions. Further, your logic is baseless and it obviously shows you're outside your lane. Hopefully, you are only trying to throw your host a bone. Sad. ... His comments are baseless. His comments are baseless and biased. The man literally brought up Trump. He literally brought up Biden. He made the comparison in terms of all of the proof and all of the allegations being brought out against both of them. But which side is using or weaponizing their position and status and their justice system to go after who in order to secure themselves in that seat again? Wow. I can't lie, it's pretty infuriating when somebody pretty much telling you that you're not thinking. That's pretty much what I got from that. And yes, we are entitled to our own opinion, and you know, the fact that they wanted to throw shade. Unfortunately, you have a platform to speak. It's like, yo, like, there's plenty of people that I disagree with, but I don't want their platforms to be taken away. Obviously, I don't want people whom, you know, spread misinformation willfully and ignorantly and knowingly. I don't want them to have a platform. They're not really a positive influence on our community, but to any degree, not just on social media, to any degree of a platform. You don't want anybody teaching ignorance. That's just common sense. I keep hearing y'all talk about, no, the justice system is just holding Trump accountable. Why aren't y'all doing the same for Biden?